This video covers the review problems from Chapter 4 in the final exam review, problems 36, 37, 38, and 39. So in all four of these problems, we're going to be doing some transformations. The first thing that I suggest you do is pause the video and in all four problems, graph the pre-image. Okay, so we need all of those graphed, and now we're going to do the transformations to each one. All right, so in number 6, I went ahead and I graphed triangle JKM, and it says draw triangle JKM rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin and state the coordinates of J prime, K prime, M prime. So we are doing a rotation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use our parchment paper, and I'm going to use a pencil here. Okay. Remember, start by drawing the origin with that plus sign pointing up with the arrow. This helps us keep track of how far we've rotated. And I'm just going to trace my pre-image points with the labels. Now it tells us that we're going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise. So remember, when we rotate 90 degrees, we know what we're done when our arrow is pointing to the left. 180 would be pointing down and 270 would be pointing to the right. So I'm going to take my parchment paper and I'm going to start to rotate counterclockwise until I've gone 90 degrees. And I'm going to make sure it's all lined up nicely. Then I'm going to put those points underneath on the graph. Okay. So I've got J prime here, K prime here, and M prime here. Just don't forget, when we're done, they want us to list those new X and Y coordinates. So J prime is at 2, 4. K prime is at 3, -1. And M prime is at -5, -2. And number 37, I graphed the pre-image. And we're going to apply the rule X and Y maps to X plus 1, Y plus 4. Now, when we see a rule like this telling us what we're adding or subtracting to our X and Y coordinates, remember, this is a translation. This is a slide. Okay. Our first number here tells us whether we're going to move left or right, but since it's positive, we're going to move right 1. Our next number tells us if we're moving up or down. Since it's positive, we're going to move up 4. So all I'm going to do is take each point and shift it 1 right and 4 up. This one went off the graph just a little bit. Don't forget your primes. And I'm going to list those new X and Y coordinates. D prime is at -2, 0. E prime is at 1, 6. It went off the graph a little bit. And then F prime is at 5, -1. And number 38, it has us reflect over the x-axis and then translate. Okay, so we're doing a composition here. So first thing we're going to do is reflect over the x-axis. We need to find the x-axis, which is here. Okay, so I'm going to reflect across this axis first. Remember, if the point is on that axis, it's going to stay there. So this will become N prime. P is 1, 2, 3 above that line of reflection. So P prime will be 1, 2, 3 below. L is also 3 above, so L prime will be 3 below. M is 1 above, so M prime will be 1 below. And so now I'm not done. Remember, we want to now translate my new quadrilateral. So I'm going to, like you notice, this is the same rule as in number 37. We're going to go 1 to the right and 4 up. And I'm going to put a new point. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1 right and up 4. And put a new point. And that will be N double prime. Okay. So 1, I did it to the wrong, no, I'm good. I just want to make sure I'm going to my primes and shifting those. So 1 right and 1, 2, 3, 4 up. 1 right, 4 up. 1 right, this one off the graph, 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is my final quadrilateral right here, and I want to go ahead and list those x and y coordinates. L double prime is at 2, 1. M double prime went off the graph. It's at 5, 3. N double prime is at -3, +4. And P double prime is at 0, 1. Lastly, number 39, we're going to reflect the quadrilateral over the line x equals 1. So we're going to flip it across the line x equals 1. Now remember, to find this line, we need to find where are my x values of 1. So I'm going to look at my x-axis, find an x value of 1, and remember this line goes in the opposite direction as the x-axis. So this goes vertically. So to do the reflection, any point on the right will now be on the left, and any point on the left will be on the right. So I'm going to count. F is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left of this green line. So F prime will be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. G is 1 on the right, so G prime will be 1 on the left. D is 3 to the right, so D prime will be 3 to the left. E is 2 to the right, so E prime will be 2 to the left. I'm going to list those points. D prime is at -3, 0. E prime is at, not -3, -2, sorry. E prime is at -1, 3. F prime is at 5, -3. And G prime is at 0, -2.